I think we should break up. The words escaped quicker than I could catch them. Sharp, final. They sliced through the moment like a mirror crashing against concrete, and the silence that followed was so dense it felt like the air had changed weight. I hadn't meant to say it. Not really. It wasn't planned. I hadn't sat down and reasoned it out. It was frustration, pain, and repressed emotions all twisted together and poured out before I could stop them. The second they left my lips, I wished to reel them back in, to rewind time, to pretend I hadn't ignited something I could never unburn. I thought he'd stop me. I imagined he'd laugh, call me dramatic, urge me to. Bree, promise we'd fix this, just like always. I thought he'd fight for us, for me, but he didn't. He just looked at me, really looked at me, with eyes full of quiet pain, and he nodded once. No protest, no question, just a gentle, steady, okay, if that's what you truly want. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't expect the ease, the surrender. No anger, no begging, not even simple. Why? It was like he had already known, like he'd felt the slow detachment long before I could face it. Myself, maybe the cracks had been there for a while, tiny fractures in love we kept covering with late night, apologies and empty promises. But I didn't see them. I didn't want to. I was upset with him, with the distance, with how he could be near me, and yet make me feel so alone. I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know how to confess that I was hurting and afraid, that I no longer felt safe in what used to be my home. So instead, I reacted. I let my feelings explode before my heart had a say. He'd always been the calm one, my anchor in chaos, the one who held me just right when life got too loud. But somewhere along the line, I stopped seeing him like that. Or maybe I just closed the door. And when I realized how far apart we drifted, I panicked and pushed him away hard before he could see the brokenness I was hiding. A week passed, 7 full days of silence, not the peaceful kind, the kind that echoes in every corner of your thoughts until it's deafening. I waited for a call, a text, something, anything. I waited for the moment to explain that I didn't mean it, that I was hurting, that I still believed in us. But nothing came. And then one afternoon, everything shifted. I was aimlessly scrolling through social media, trying to seem fine. And then I saw it, a photo, him, smiling, arm in arm with someone new. She held his hand, her head rested on his shoulder in front of the same park that used to be ours. The caption said, just 5 words, excited for what's ahead. Suddenly, everything stopped. My chest tightened. My fingers froze. The room felt smaller. My heart crashed in ways I didn't expect, like it dropped to the floor without warning. I hadn't known until that moment just how tightly I had still been holding on. Some part of me was quietly wishing he'd return, but there he was, moving on, smiling with someone else. And she looked happy. He looked genuinely happy, happier than he'd seemed with me. Those final months, I should have felt peace. I should have been relieved he found the love I couldn't give, but instead I felt regret, deep and suffocating. All I could think was it my fault? Did I push away the one person who truly understood me? Did I destroy something that still had hope just because I didn't know how to voice my hurt? That night, I didn't sleep. I thought about him, his laugh, his gentle embrace, the way he held me close with no reason needed, how he saw through me but never judged what he saw. How did I let that go? How did I walk away from someone who felt like home? I remembered the late Night drives with the windows down. His fingers tracing circles on my hand. Him whispering, I got you, even when I didn't know I needed it. I had loved him deeply, and I had lost him, not because he left, but because I pushed. The days that followed were a haze. I tried drowning the ache in work. Chatter, anything, but every still moment was a portal back to him. And each time he came to mind, I saw her, the girl in the photo, the one who now stood where I once did. She wasn't just someone new. She was a reminder of what I let go, what I could never get back. I kept telling myself to move on, to accept that he deserved someone who could show love more clearly. But deep down, I knew I hadn't let go. I wasn't ready. I hadn't made peace with my actions. I tried calling him. Twice. Both times. I stared at the screen, heart racing, fingers trembling, and both times I froze. I couldn't do it. I didn't know if it was too late. I didn't know if anything was left or if he had already closed the book for good. Maybe he waited for me to end it so he wouldn't have to. Maybe he was tired of being the only one trying. Maybe my silence those final weeks said it all. Maybe the fight had left him long ago and I hadn't noticed. And the truth is, no matter how many maybes I spin, I can't undo it. I can't reverse the damage. I can't unspeak the words that altered everything. He moved on. He's with someone else. And I'm here mourning goodbye I never truly meant to give. So if you're reading this and your relationship feels like it's fading, if your heart is heavy with all the things you haven't said, don't let silence and pride choose for you. Don't wait until they're gone to realize what they meant to you. Say what's in your heart. Fight for what matters before all you're left with our what-ifs, regret, and the echo of your own heartbreak in a space you once shared. Because sometimes, I didn't mean it, is the most painful sentence of all, especially when the one you want to say it to is already holding someone else's hand.